Hello everybody, welcome back to PadFootTD Games. My name is Zach, I'm the voice behind the icon, and today we are back once again in Virtual Sailor Next Generation, here with the beautiful Disney Wonder. Realized I came in here earlier I was checking out some of the weather. I completely forgot to turn the time back. Whoopsie. Gotta love it. Alright, but we are right before 4:45, which is our departure time, so we gotta get ourselves back on board and get ourselves out of Nawiliwili here in Kauai off to Maui. Very excited about this because this was my first stop, minus Honolulu, of course, on my trip. Tomorrow we should be arriving at 8:30 and we're leaving at 11 p.m., so another nighttime departure, which is going to be awesome, before we finally end this cruise in Honolulu. So super excited about it. Let's head back to the ship and we'll see you guys there. All right, we are back on board once again. Seeing the trees come through the parking lot, and now there's even trees in our sand. Oh well. We had a beautiful day here in Nawiliwili, and I'm very excited for us to head out this evening. We'll talk to everybody after that. This tells me that we are going to have a heck of a ride when we undo. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of anchor us down here. Yep. Knew that was going to happen. And that's why we do it. So we'll undo all our lines here, and now we should just do a little bob and be good. Let's just actually just keep ourselves at net zero. But this should be fine. Time for us to depart. So how we are going to do this, by the way, is we are pretty much just going to use our thrusters to push us all the way out here and straight out, and off we go. Tonight, we'll be going pretty full speed to make our 8:30 arrival from Kauai. We're going to go around Honolulu and down into Maui. So it should be a relatively 18-knot speed all the way this evening until we arrive there, so it should be a good one. So let's get ourselves ready here. Let's put thrusters up at like 14, I feel. It's a long push, but this is actually how we left. I remember very vividly. That was like one of my biggest memories is I time-lapsed us leaving here. So we are pulling away from the dock from Nawiliwili on our 10-day voyage here on the Disney Wonder. Very excited to just continue this journey. I'm actually going to turn on our nav lights. Now, I've been trying to actually get better about that, of actually leaving them on while, you know, we are actually actively moving, like real life. I just can't turn off like some of our secondary lights. So maybe I'll try to remember. We'll find out. Let's hop back on the ship.
This is the duty officer speaking from the bridge. We'll be sounding our ship's horn from the forward funnel. For those of you on the open decks at this time, you may want to cover your ears. Again, we'll be sounding our ship's horn from the forward funnel. And for those of you that are on the open decks at this time, you may want to cover your ears. Thank you for your attention.
I wasn't sure if I had already done that or not. Here we go. You know, I look forward to being able to go back to Hawaii one day, and of course I'd love to be able to do it on Disney, but the flying out there and then the cruising back, you know, it's just a lot. Because again, I live pretty much as far as I possibly can away from Hawaii, being up in New England, but we are looking at the possibility of possibly doing a Carnival cruise one day from Los Angeles to Hawaii and back. It's a lot of time at sea. Really got to think about it. But I think overall, I think it'd be an amazing experience. So, got that in the back pocket. As we pull through, yeah, we got plenty of room from the freighter. So, start putting a little bit here. Again, we got to kind of click closer to the seawall than I'd like to avoid all the rocks here, and then it's like a tight turn. Out to sea we go. Turn off the thrusters for now, hoping that was enough. I know that I'm going to end up blowing the horn again as we go by. There'd be people out here on the pier 100% taking a look at the Disney Wonder as we are to leave. And that's so far to push the ship with just the thrusters, but it's what happened. That's so funny. saying goodbye. Long drift in this one, but again, we did have some pretty good speed. The freighter behind us, that's still fine. Tugs there in case we need it. Gonna go at a slower 5 to 6 knots on this one. It should be nice. Tomorrow night, by the way, I was wrong originally on the pirate night. Tomorrow will be Pirates Night, so that is very exciting as well. Here aboard the Disney Wonder, we're gonna have fireworks at sea down here in Hawaii, which is cool because we haven't been able to do that since we had gone up to Alaska, because Alaska does not allow fireworks for obvious reasons. Let's take a look here. Beautiful. Beautiful, just beautiful. Alright, let's climb back on board. So again, looks like we're going to have some great weather going in. It looks like we may have a rainy morning, unfortunately, as we pull into Maui. But that should clear kind of later in the day, which means anybody who is planning to go to the national park, go up Halale? It's the mountain on Maui. It's the tallest mountain in the world. Again, I can't hear things pretty much at all. And so my being able to recall them has never been that great either. I'm actually going to put a little more into the thrusters here. Kick the aft around. Notch up the throttle one more.
This is the duty officer speaking from the bridge. We'll be sounding our ship's horn from the forward funnel. For those of you on the open decks at this time, you may want to cover your ears. Again, we'll be sounding our ship's horn from the forward funnel. And for those of you that are on the open decks at this time, you may want to cover your ears. Thank you for your attention.
Always cool and unique. You know, it's so funny because I remember the first time that I ever heard the horn, I was like, man, that is so cool. And it still obviously sits in my brain today. That's why I still play it when we're in sim. But, you know, there was always a love or hate with it, and there still is. But, you know, like, different ships have now different horns. Princess is the Love Boat theme. Like, that's cool to be able to see, in my personal opinion. We're going to need a little bit of the bow thruster to get ourselves turned, or probably. Just to kick us over, just past the wall. That's all I'm looking for. Keep it still around 5 to 6 knots. Pop outside. Just making sure that we clear that. Bring the throttle back down right above idle just to kind of keep us going at this speed. Again, one of the coolest places to come in and out of. Alright, come back to the bridge now. Actually pop out on the wing. There's that. Once we get close enough, we'll jerk it over to the side. But keeping it all there, keeping it looking nice. Staying away from the rocks. That's all that I'm asking. I'm telling you, some of the ships that they want me to get in here, I'm very curious because I've never seen pictures of it, obviously. So I'm going to have to just do my research on what is needed. I don't know who this is. There's somebody calling this number, and I don't know who it is. If they just left me a message, I'd be able to know who it was, but I can't pick up when I don't know who it is. Did you finally leave a message? Love being an adult. now. Okay, so what was I going to talk about? Oh, so this was something that was also really special to us because, you know, as we were leaving here, this was marking us to start the Pacific crossing. I remember leaving here and just thinking, okay, this is the last time we see land for 5 days, which blew my mind. Because again, I've done transatlantic before, so I've done the crossing of 5 days prior before. Sure, yeah, plenty of room. So you know, it wasn't new to me to do so. But it was like the first time with the service dog, the first time with Danielle, and I just like was hopeful that it was going to go okay. We had rough seas every day because it's the Pacific, which sucked. It got cold, like on day 2. All I remember is the day that we left. Was it the day that we left Kauai? Maybe the next day. Danielle got so very sick. So very seasick, and I felt so bad because there was nothing I could do. I'm still steering plenty clear from the rocks, looking good. Gonna keep that bow thruster pushing us sideways. Just not enough room to really just rely on the rudder. Make sure the rudder is all the way over. Just keep on checking at that, but yeah, that's a pretty good smooth line. I'm happy with that. After the ship. I'm like right in that channel. There's no way I'm near that rock. Wow, there are rocks underneath here, huh? Note to self, edit this map. Yeah, definitely got to do that. That's so funny. Either way, keeping it good. Oh boy. So yeah, there's that realization of being out at sea and, you know, it kind of feeling like the vacation was over. So I really wanted to do this direction. When we were talking about doing this trip, we had talked about in both directions. To actually see, you know, what our options were. And I wanted the days at sea last, and I can't remember my exact thinking of it, but I think it's because I wanted to enjoy Hawaii first, and then have the days at sea to relax, even though they didn't become relaxing days at sea. I think that was the original thought. If I was to do it again, and they do it in reverse, I don't know. I still think ending in Vancouver was cooler than that, but I guess pulling into Hawaii on a ship would have been something different. Okay, my brain can't decide which one I'd rather do, so next time we do one, we'll just go both ways. Gonna kick up the speed a little bit here now that we've cleared the harbor itself. Say goodbye for a couple months. I know I said last video like 6 months. It's not that long. Let me see. Hold on. I actually have the calendar here because I have nothing else better to do with my life. So we were in here October 13th when we head to Australia. We come back in March. So let's see, October, November, December, January, February, March. Oh, 5 months. I was close enough. That's good enough. But we are now on our course for autopilot. We are gonna pass Ninini Lighthouse here, which will be our clear sign that we're heading off to Maui. Let's check in with the guests really quick. Just give them a hey, Heidi, hey, and let them know what the night's gonna bring here. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is Captain Zach speaking from the bridge. Welcome back aboard the beautiful Disney Wonder. I hope that you enjoyed your day in Kauai here in Nawiliwili, and I hope that you're going to have an amazing night here on board. Tonight looks like we're going to have a smooth crossing over to Maui for our 8:30 a.m. arrival. Tonight we have so many activities here on the ship. Cruise Director Brett will be here shortly to be able to share those with you, but I wanted to welcome you back on board the beautiful Disney Wonder and wish you a magical evening. Congratulations. You gotta get as many Disney things in there as possible. Wonderful, magical, dream, fantasial. You wish for some treasure. No? Okay. So boy, I know it'd usually be the cruise director to come on. The captain usually wouldn't come on, but we did have one captain who is very adamant about making announcements and keeping with people, which was awesome. That was Captain Gus aboard the Disney Wonder in 2014. It was Danielle's first cruises. They were back-to-back. And that's where I proposed to her, actually. Great guy. He loved Ella. So, it was Belle at the time, actually. So, loved her. Made us smile. But really, I think that might be it. As we watch Kauai fade off into the night, that is it for us today for this departure video from Kauai. Tomorrow we'll be heading into Maui, like I said, at 8:30 a.m. as more of a relatively easy entrance. And watch, it's going to prove me wrong and I'm going to sink the ship, but I think we've been doing quite good so far. So that's where I'm going to leave this one. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, we do try to get a video out here on the channel every single day, and we really do appreciate your continued support. But with that, I thank you guys so much for coming out to this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.